What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA action here on Wednesday, November 12th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game, and look at some player props, and I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, running pretty hot. We've already locked up a winning day. We cashed the Raptors at -9. This game was weirdly competitive at times, but the Raptors eventually get the 119 to 109 win to get us the extremely close win and cover. Brandon Ingram played well. Quickly was right there with him in a game where the bench actually wasn't that good for Toronto. We also cast the Knicks at -9.5, a comfortable win there for our thumbnail pick, and a cover there for the Knicks, who controlled this game from the first quarter on with the entire starting lineup playing well, and the bench coming up big as well there against a free-falling Memphis Grizzlies team. Things are getting very, very bleak there in Memphis. We cashed Jordan Clarkson over 8.5 points at -132. He was a big part of the good bench night there for the Knicks, putting up 13 points on a very efficient shooting night, especially from long range. So a great night there from Clarkson. We got very lucky to cash our over there on the Golden State Warriors Oklahoma City Thunder game. Over 227.5. Absolutely insane win on this one. Despite the Warriors being terrible, in garbage time, Gui Santos fouls late in a 20-plus point game, and we get the half-point win with a final score of 102 to 126. So we'll take the win there, but guys, it does not get much closer than that. That was wild. Unfortunately, like we said, the Warriors did not show up, so we brick out on our dog of the day at +7.5. A terrible showing from Golden State. Curry only played 20 minutes as this thing got out of hand fast, and despite some good shooting from the bench, there was nothing good happening from the starters aside from Kuminga and Jimmy Butler. We still have the Denver Nuggets there on the money line as our massive lock of the day. They're up by 2. Very late in the second quarter there, so we'll see how that game finishes up. Still pretty early on in a very, very late starting game, so we'll see how that one goes. But regardless of result, we've got a win locked up already. At least a 4-2 day, maybe another 5-1 day. Our hot run just keeps on going, guys. We've been killing it on the 4 days before this. We were total 17-7 in our pinned comment picks. If we can put up a little 5-1 spot today, that would be very, very nice. So definitely get in on that. If you guys are interested, get over to stumpthespread.com. Check out all the free stuff over there. We cashed our free pick on the Louisville game there, the Louisville-Kentucky game. We were on Louisville at home, and they took care of business. So lots of positive stuff there. Get over to stumpthespread.com, and let's go ahead and dive in. We've got a big slate to cover here on Wednesday. We've got props. We've got sides. Let's get after it. First up, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls heading to Detroit to take on the Pistons. The Bulls come into this game 6-4 on the season. That hot start has cooled off a bit. They've now lost 3 in a row. Losses to the Spurs, Cavaliers, and Bucks, though, kind of all makes sense. We also saw Giddey miss a game. That game against the Spurs was way more competitive than we thought. Ended up with a push there on the Spurs. Thought they would win that game comfortably, especially if Giddey didn't play well. He didn't play, and the Bulls actually played really well. Liked what we saw from Trey Jones. Kevin Huerter in the starting lineup, 23 points from him. Continued to shoot the ball really, really well here in Chicago. Vujicic, a decent but not great game from him. Buzelis continues to look great. The bench also played well. Dosunmu, 20 points off the bench coming back from injury. Jalen Smith playing well additionally. So lots of good news there for the Chicago Bulls in terms of the injury report here, which is obviously very, very important. Kobe White, we still haven't seen him make his season debut. He is back there from the G League, so that's all a good sign. We're not 100% sure if he's going to play in this game or not, but there's definitely starting to feel like there is a chance. In terms of Josh Giddey, seems to me that he's pretty likely to play in this game. This is not supposed to be a long-term injury. That ankle, it was just a bit of a tweak. Now, he got crossed into oblivion there by DeAndre Hunter, so that wasn't a good look there against the Cavaliers, but he should be back, and he's been playing really, really well. So we'll see what they can do here, going on the road to take on the Detroit Pistons, who are in a bit of a weird spot. They are 9-2 on the season. They're on top of the Eastern Conference, which I'm sure feels very, very good. That win over the Wizards, though, was weird as hell and sketchy as hell. We saw Cade miss, I think it was an NBA record, if I'm remembering correctly what I saw. He went 14 of 45 from the field. Crazy, crazy stuff there. Did put up a 42 piece or 45 piece. A 46 piece there from Cade. 19 points from Jalen Duren. Obviously, monster games out there. 24 points off the bench from Jenkins. Like, a lot of guys had to chip in this crazy overtime game. They got a max effort game there from the Wizards. Not something you see all the time, but Detroit manages to find a way there in the end. The problem confronting them for this game is injuries. And I mean, injuries might be a little bit harsh, but we do see a lot of guys probably sitting out. Isaiah Stewart dealing with that ankle issue. He's doubtful for this game. Jalen Duren on the injury report after playing all those minutes. He is probable due to a right ankle sprain, so it sounds like he's going to be out there, but are they going to be willing to play him a ton of minutes? Maybe, maybe not. Tobias Harris sounds like he's been been ruled out. Yeah, didn't play there against. So it sounds like he's coming back soon, but seems a bit unlikely that he's going to play in this game. Asar Thompson, also on the injury report, dealing with that ankle issue, is officially ruled out for this game. And most importantly, Cade Cunningham, guys, dealing with a hip issue. Seems like they might be looking to sit him out for this game, get him some rest after a crazy max effort performance where he played 45 minutes there against Washington. He's played 45 and 41 minutes respectively in his last 2 games. So giving him a night off would make all the sense in the world to me. And when you look at the numbers here, it kind of makes sense that the Pistons might be resting some guys. We'll see. Right now, Detroit, they're 2.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 233.5. The Bulls are 8-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Detroit is 7-4 against the spread. They're 5-1 to the over/under. I think this is an excellent spot to take the Chicago Bulls. Now, I am guessing a little bit here on the injury report for the Pistons, but I think Cade's probably going to sit among plenty of others. I think we're going to see a short-handed and tired Pistons team. The Bulls are rested. I know they're playing on the road here, but that hasn't been a huge problem for them. So definitely give me the Bulls here, getting a couple points. And you might want to jump on this one early if you're with me here and think that the Pistons are going to be resting a lot of pieces. I've also got a couple of player props that I like for this game, and right off the bat, I'll take Josh Giddey to get a double-double in this one at -130. He missed the Bulls last game, so he should be healthy for this one, and even if his ankle is bothering him a little bit, he's going to be facing the Pistons' second unit a little bit at least. They're going to be resting their best players coming off an insane overtime win against the Wizards. That's at least our guess here, and I think it's a pretty educated guess based on what we're seeing from the injury report and what we saw from the Pistons there in a crazy max effort win there over the Wizards. I will also take Jalen Smith here over 8.5 points at -130. He's getting good minutes there behind Vooch and has been playing great, scoring in double figures in 4 of his last 5 games. And in a game here against the Pistons' lower tier players, there's a chance of him getting extra minutes if this thing does get out of hand, which I do think is something of a possibility. So definitely like Jalen Smith in this spot. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Milwaukee Bucks going on the road to take on the Charlotte Hornets. The Bucks come into this game 7-4 in the season, fresh off a very narrow 2-point win there at Dallas. So, I mean, they'll take the win, but it wasn't an easy one. Giannis, 30 points from him. He's off to an insane start. He played great. The others, I mean, 26 points off the bench from Kuzma. If you'd have told me Kuzma would never score 26 points this season, I would have been more willing to believe that than what we've seen from him so far. So, dude's playing great, really turned it around after a terrible year after being acquired last year. Seems like he is capable of being a big piece here for the Bucks, especially coming off the bench. Gary Trent Jr. not playing great. AJ Green got back on track, shooting the ball much better, 4 of 8 from 3 in that game. So, a lot of positives for the Bucks. They needed all of it, though, to get the 2-point win there against the Mavs. The injury report is clean for Milwaukee. The only guy, I mean, Kevin Porter Jr., he's going to be out for a bit. Giannis, as always, is on there. He's dealing with a knee issue. He's officially questionable for this game. So keep a very close eye out there on the Giannis news. But we also have to mention, Milwaukee has shown the ability to play very well this season without Giannis. They had a nice win over, I believe it was the Warriors, a 120-110 win there over the Warriors in a game where Giannis did not even play. And the Warriors were pretty healthy for that game. So we'll see how this one goes. They're taking on the Hornets, who are terrible. They're 3-7 on the season. They're fresh off a 10-point loss there against the Lakers. We had the Lakers -7 in that game, so more than happy to see that. In that loss, I mean, the Hornets, I don't really know what to say. Miles Bridges played, and he played well. Congrats. Colin Sexton was out there, 26 high-effort minutes, but only 13 points. They didn't have some of their biggest pieces, and until the Hornets get healthy, we can't really tell what this team's going to be, and we also can't tell if they're going to be good. Now, LaMelo Ball continues to just be a glass cannon kind of guy. He's either out there killing it or he's out. And most of the time he is out. He is officially out for this game with continued ankle problems. Colin Sexton is on the injury report as well. He's dealing with an ankle issue. He is probable, so it sounds like he will be out there. Josh Green, Grant Williams, both out for this game. So we'll see. Obviously no Brandon Miller. So a lot of injury problems plaguing these young Charlotte Hornets once again. Starting to be a revolving door of injury issues. So looking at the numbers, the Hornets are getting 5 points at home. We've got a total of 233.5. Milwaukee is 6-5 against the spread, 7-4 to the over. Charlotte's 4-6 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. I don't think over 233.5 is insane in this game, but better than that, I like the Milwaukee Bucks here at -5. I think especially if Giannis plays, but maybe even if he doesn't, they should get a comfortable win here on the road over a Charlotte Hornets team that really has not impressed me, especially when they don't have their best pieces, which is all the time for this squad. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and now college basketball picks. Looking like a pretty solid NHL day out there, especially if the Blue Jackets can bring it home for us. We might also finish the day off on a win there on Gonzaga, but a little bit of a rough start. Now we've got early goings there on the college basketball side, so lots of new information coming in on a nightly basis there on the premium picks. So definitely get over there to Stump the Spread and check those out, but you also have to get to stumpthespread.com and get on that free email list, guys. It's a fantastic resource every single day. Also, the free picks tab is a very good resource over there at stumpthespread.com as well. We cash our free pick there, like I said earlier, on the Louisville Cardinals. They played great in that one. A very, very solid win for them over Kentucky. But with Louisville playing at home in a rivalry game, makes all the sense in the world. All kinds of great information in those emails and in the free picks tab every single day. And it's very easy to sign up. You just go to stumpthespread.com, however makes the most sense to you. You can click the link in the description. You can type stumpthespread.com into your browser of choice. You click that little green login button. That'll prompt you to set up a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day. It'll have all kinds of fantastic information in it. Especially want to get on there before Sunday for those NFL touchdown props that went absolutely nuts, catching 4 nice underdog NFL touchdown props there on Sunday. So definitely want to get in on that. Also, get over there to stumpthespread.com and get in on the premium picks, guys. Could be a very nice 3-in-1 day there on the NHL side, cashing our biggest play of the day there on the Blues as a 2-unit play and the Stars as a 2-unit play. So making lots of units there in the NHL. Obviously, a bit of a tough night there on the NBA streets. 1 assist short on Emmanuel Quickly and a half of an assist too much there from Michael Porter Jr. Really screwed us up. And still, like I said, in college basketball, lots of new information coming in. So still got to feel out these teams. Were very early on. Dayton not getting the job done. Winthrop not getting the job done, but Gonzaga was up 30 plus with less than 2 minutes to go. So they should easily cover and at least let us end the day on a bit of a positive note. So definitely get in there. Getting in after a losing day, not usually the worst idea. The bounce backs are very real and always on the way. So definitely get in on that if you guys are interested. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe more importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We do a members only giveaway here every 7 days. The next one will be on the 17th. The last one was on the 10th. If you're a YouTube channel member, get down there in the comments and let us know that you are seeing these giveaways, and we still haven't had the winner of last week's giveaway come forward. So would love to send that out to somebody. Definitely get in on that. If you're a YouTube channel member and you get down in the comments, you have a chance to be picked to get a free Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to your address of choice. So definitely get in on that if you're interested, guys. We've got a ton of NBA action to cover today, and we're about to look at one of my most interested games of the day. We've got the Orlando Magic going on the road to take on the New York Knicks on ESPN. The Magic come into this game a little bit of a bounce back here, a 115-112 win there over the Trailblazers their last time out. 5-6 on the season is not how Orlando was supposed to start, but they've had some kind of significant changes in the offseason, so we'll see if they're able to figure things out. That win was courtesy of Desmond Bane's three-pointer there at the buzzer. A pretty wild shot, but he knocks it down. And, I mean, Desmond Bane, 22 points in 33 minutes, 9 of 19 from the field, only 1 of 6 from 3, but he made the biggest one. Maybe this can be the catalyst for him to turn things around after what has been a little bit of a rocky start here with his new team. Paolo continues to play great. Franz Wagner playing well. The bench actually looked pretty good in that game. Nobody scoring in double digits, so definitely work to be done. And it's not like they had an amazing three-point shooting night either. Bane was supposed to help that a lot. Turns out you need more than one shooter. So we'll see what they can do in this game. Obviously, heading to New York isn't the easiest spot. They are fully healthy, though, so that should certainly help. They're taking on a Knicks team that will be playing on no rest, but they're playing on no rest coming off a blowout win there over the Grizzlies. And they've been winning in blowouts, I would say, 4 straight games now. So not exactly like they're having to play massive minutes loads. This is not like what was going on when Tibbs was at the helm. These guys are getting a little bit of rest. We loved what we saw in terms of just, overall production there from Mikal Bridges. Cat played really, really well. And the minutes, guys, the minutes are nice. I mean, Mikal Bridges, he plays a million minutes every game. Doesn't seem to bother him. He played 38, but Cat 32, 21 from Shamet, 36 from Jalen Brunson. So these guys could all be a little bit fatigued, but it shouldn't be anything too crazy. And they are playing at home, so they didn't have to travel or anything like that. So we'll see what they can do in this one. In terms of the injury report, it's not super updated, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Right now, it's only showing Mitchell Robinson. Obviously, he didn't play that game against Memphis. Sounds like there is some chance he could get some minutes there playing at home. We'll see. but that's always very up in the air. So we'll see about him, but other than that, it's kind of a wait and see spot on the Knicks in terms of their injury report. So looking at the numbers, the Knicks, they're -3.5 or -4, both numbers still available. We've got a total of 228.5. Orlando's only 4-7 against the spread this year, 6-5 to the under. The Knicks, 6-3 against the spread, 6-3 to the over. And so far in this very young season, they are 1-0 against the spread, playing on no rest. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Knicks here pretty aggressively at -3.5, under the impression that everybody's going to play and that they're not going to be too exhausted. There's just too much offensive talent on this team for the Magic really to be able to keep up. But could see an ultra-motivated Franz Wagner, ultra-motivated Paolo Banchero playing in Madison Square Garden. So this is a bit of a wait-and-see spot with a lean towards the Knicks. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies heading to Boston to take on the Celtics. The Grizzlies are in disaster mode right now. They just got obliterated last night by the Knicks. Now they got to head to Boston to take on the Celtics, and just no good news. No good news. Seems like Ja Morant continues to be pretty freaking unhappy with this situation. Santi Aldama was the leading scorer for this team in this loss to the Knicks. That is a bad look. Ja played 34 minutes, had 16 points, 10 assists, 4 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, so I guess he's knocking down a couple threes every once in a while now, but it is not looking great. Jaren Jackson Jr., 19 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. You would hope that efforts like that would come in a win. It certainly did not. This team just does not have enough talent on it. It's looking very, very bleak. Dude's playing big minutes off the bench, but it's not really helping. I don't know what to say. I am liking what I'm seeing from Cam Spencer this season, but a lot of those numbers are coming in garbage minutes, so I don't even really want to get super hyped up about him, and his ceiling is a backup point guard. So yeah, I mean, this team is supposed to get better once Edey and Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. come back, but we'll see what happens. Edey, dealing with that ankle issue, will not play in this game. So we'll see what they can do in Boston, taking on the Celtics, who are fresh off a tough 2-point loss last night at the 76ers. I mean, that was rough. Big games there, on the 76ers side. Boston had no answers for Oubre, really, or no answers for Tyrese Maxey, which that's kind of a reoccurring theme for a lot of teams. The Celtics, I mean, they get 24 points from Jaylen Brown. I don't know where all those guys are at that were saying Jaylen Brown was going to lead the league in scoring this year, but that is not happening. Anthony Simons is playing great off the bench. Love what we're getting from him. Other than that, I don't have a ton of guys that I love what they did. I mean, Derek White's playing a bit better. That's great, but 7 of 20 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3. Doesn't seem like he's the kind of guy that's going to thrive being one of the main offensive options for a team. So we'll see what they can do here. Obviously, a bit of a step down in competition level. The Celtics injury report for this game looking, I'm not going to say I'm thrilled about it necessarily because, I'm not going to be thrilled about the injury report for this team until I see Jason Tatum back out there. But right now, they're just not a ton of talent to put out there. We'll see how it goes. But right now, this is not a starting lineup that is too terrifying. So look at the numbers. The Celtics, they're -6. We've got a total of 230.5. Memphis, 3-8 against the spread this season, 7-4 to the under. They're 1-1 against the spread on no rest. Boston, 4-7 against the spread, 6-5 to the under. 1-1 against the spread on no rest themselves. With both teams playing on no rest, I do think there could be some room to take under 230.5 in this game. Also, both teams have shown trends towards the under this year. That doesn't hurt either. I'm not super in love with that. I'm not going to be betting unders here in the early part of the NBA season. In terms of a side, I'm not backing the Grizzlies against anyone right now, so I will take the Celtics here at -6, but I am not getting super involved in this game. Rolling right along in this game, guys, we're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the Miami Heat. The Cavaliers, they're 7-4 on the season. They're fresh off a brutal 2-point loss there at Miami. They lose 140-138 in an overtime thriller of a game. Crazy stuff. A Wiggins alley-oop there at the buzzer, ending things. Nuts. In terms of what we saw from the Cavaliers, DeAndre Hunter, 23 points, a pretty good night. 2 of 8 from 3 isn't ideal. As a team, we saw Cleveland shoot the ball okay. I mean, they shot 65 threes, which is a bit much. Made 21 of them, though, so you would think they would have had a good chance to win, and they did. I mean, it really came down to the wire, but they had to make a big come from behind there in the fourth quarter, so we'll see what happens in this one. Some okay bench scoring. Donovan Mitchell, 28 points, 15 boards, 8 assists. He's doing everything he could possibly do out there, but only 3 of 16 from 3. If you're going to get 16 threes up there, I'm going to need to see you make more than 3 probably. But yeah, just not an incredible day out there. I don't know. And not loving what we're seeing from Darius Garland, who will be missing this game. Maybe that actually helps here in the short term. We'll see. The Heat, they come into this game winners of 3 in a row. Got to be pretty pumped to have won that first game. And, they played great. There's really no way around that. We loved what we saw from the Heat. A plus 17 there from Norman Powell. He had 33 points in the game. 22, 13, and 7 off the bench for Jaime Jaquez Jr. crazy turnaround after a bad season last year. All of a sudden, he's looking like a monster. I guess all those amazing videos we watched him in the offseason just dominating there in the Rico Hines runs. I mean, looks like they paid off. He's playing great right now. And Wiggins coming up clutch. So loving all of that. They shot the ball pretty mediocre from three, only 12 of 36. So they managed to get the job done. Now, the injury report here from the Heat, they are looking relatively healthy except for Bam. Bam is still sidelined. That's not great. Dealing with that toe issue, will not be playing in this game. The Cavaliers, they come into this game obviously with no Garland in this one. I don't think that's a massive deal, but also no Donovan Mitchell, also no Evan Mobley. This is going to be a very banged up team. So we're going to see lots of Lonzo Ball, lots of Sam Merrill, some Craig Porter Jr. action probably. DeAndre Hunter is going to be taking on a big scoring role. Dean Wade might and probably will move into the starting lineup. So we'll see how that all goes. The Heat are 5.5-point favorites at home in this one. We got a total of 238.5. Cleveland's 3-8 against the spread. They're 6-5 to the over. Miami 8-3 against the spread, 7-4 to the over. With all these injuries to the Cavaliers, I worry about the Heat taking their foot off the gas, but I still got to take the Heat here at -5.5. Just given that, with no Donovan Mitchell out there, like, where is the offense going to come from? Are we about to see a 30-point game from Lonzo Ball? I would be very surprised to see that. So give me the Heat here at -5.5. I think it's got some pretty decent value. Next on the docket, we've got a very weird one. We're looking at the Washington Wizards going on the road to take on the Houston Rockets. Now, the Wizards played by far their best game of the season, not excluding their win over the Mavericks in their second game of the year. They end up losing, blowing the game really late there against the Pistons, losing 137-135 in overtime. CJ McCollum, a great audition, putting up 42 points, 14 of 25 from the field. You'll love to see it. It was a high maximum effort game there from the Wizards in a nationally televised performance. Middleton, 26 minutes, 6 points. This dude just seems miserable. I don't know if he's about to retire or just is not going to try, just waiting to get bought out. Sarr, 15 points, 15 boards, a massive day from him. I mean, we even saw Cam Whitmore playing great off the bench, 20 points in 29 minutes there. So lots of positives, but the thing is they do not play with this kind of effort on a night-to-night basis. This is a tanking team, and the odds makers very much expecting them to really tank it out in this game and to really just lay an egg. And I don't think that's crazy. They are relatively healthy coming into this game, but everybody is not going to be locked in. They're going to be depressed after that loss. I don't think they're going to be inspired here as they head to Houston to take on the Rockets, who have been looking like one of the best teams in the NBA. They did lose a tough one there against the Spurs, but bounced back quickly with a nice 7-point win there at Milwaukee. Now they're back home and they're hosting one of the worst teams in the NBA that's coming off a bit of a soul-crushing loss. Now, in the win over the Bucks, we loved what we saw from Jabari Smith Jr. He had 16 points, but was a plus 25. Alperen Sengun is playing some of the best basketball in the NBA right now, I'll be honest. 23 points, 11 boards, 7 assists. We're also liking what we're seeing off the bench from Steven Adams. Reed Shepard played well off the bench in that game. Tari Eason playing some very solid defense. Not the best offensive night for him. He was 0-5 from 3, but this Houston Rockets team is real good. Real good. Kevin Durant, 31 points in his 37 minutes. A vintage Kevin Durant game. 2-2 from 3, 11 of 15 from the field. He looked awesome. He looked awesome out there. So we'll see what they look like in this one. They are fully healthy coming into this game. We'll see. The problem is they are 17.5-point favorites. If they were like 14.5-point favorites, I was more than ready to take the Rockets here at minus pretty much any number at 15 or under. But 17.5 is a ton. I'm still going to take the Rockets in this one. We've got a total of 233.5. Washington's only 2-9 against the spread, 7-4 to the over. Houston, 6-3 against the spread, 7-1 to the over. I'm not going to get too involved in this game. I will take the Rockets as a very small lean. Maybe a lean towards the over as well if you're begging me for something else on this game. But if this was just a more manageable number, all this being said, I do still think there's an excellent shot that the Rockets end up winning this game by like 30 points. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the Portland Trail Blazers heading to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. The Trail Blazers are 5-5 on the season, fresh off a tough loss there at Orlando. Not able to make it happen. They do keep things very close, and it should have been going into overtime if Bane does knock down that crazy three. There have been a lot of positives for the Trail Blazers this year. Jeremy Grant playing really well off the bench, taking a lot of shots in that game, not shooting the ball particularly well, but Shadion Sharp playing amazing, loving what we're seeing from him. 31 points in that tough loss. Maybe needs to work on the free throws a little bit, but overall, a very good game from him. Lots of bright spots for this team. Denny Adjava's played amazing this season, so a lot of things to feel good about if you're a Blazers fan. Are they going to be super competitive in terms of like a playoff spot this year? That might be a big ask, but we like a lot of what we're seeing here from Portland. And they come into this game fully healthy. That is a big deal. So we'll see what they can do here in New Orleans. The Pelicans, they are 2-8 on the season. They just got waxed there in Phoenix. They are back home for this game, and we'll see how that goes. The last time they played at home, they got a 4-point win over a very short-handed Hornets team. In that loss against the Suns, not a lot went right. Trey Murphy III just continues to show that he's the best player on this team. And yes, I'm including Zion Williamson. Availability is the best ability. I will definitely say that. Derek Queen continues to play well off the bench also, but this team is just not having a very good time this year. The injuries are a constant problem. Zion and Jordan Poole, color me shocked that Zion's missing time. That hamstring issue, he's officially out for this game. We'll see if he's back anytime soon, but I'm not holding my breath. And Jordan Poole, he's going to be out for a bit longer still probably at least 5 or so days before he's back. So a very banged up Pelicans team. They are at home here, and they are getting 7.5 points. We've got a total of 232.5. Portland 6-4 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. The Pelicans 4-5-1 against the spread, and they are a 500 over/under team. I don't hate over 232.5 in this game. I actually think that's a pretty reasonable over spot, especially given what we're seeing so far in the NBA. In terms of a side, 7.5 is kind of a lot, but I will take the Portland Trail Blazers here as the favorites on the road. I think they find a way to get the job done in this one. They're the most, by far, deeper and seemingly more motivated team. So with the Pelicans constantly missing two of their best, at least offensive players, it's just a brutal time. Next up, guys, I've got a game that I'm a little bit shocked as not being nationally televised. We've got the Golden State Warriors heading to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. The Warriors are now 6-6 on the year. They laid a huge egg for us last night in Oklahoma City, losing 126-122. Against the Thunder, Kuminga had 13 points. He was 6 of 9 from the field, but yeah, none of the starters except for Jimmy Butler and Kuminga really got it going. Steph coming back from an illness or being poisoned there on LeBron's podcast. That's what the internet's saying, not me. That's what the internet is saying. 11 points in 20 minutes, 1 of 5 from 3. Not exactly a vintage Steph performance. Some decent numbers from a few guys coming off the bench. They played a ton of minutes in a situation where you wouldn't necessarily have expected that because this game got real out of hand real quick. It was pretty much over there by halftime. And yeah, a brutal showing, but 22 minutes from Jimmy, 22 for Draymond, 24 for Kuminga, 20 for Curry. They should be pretty much rested for this game. They only had to travel from Oklahoma City to San Antonio as well, so not too bad of a trip. Golden State, obviously this isn't a fully updated injury report, but they should be healthy and ready to go. I also think Al Horford is very likely to be back for this game. So they should be at 100% as they head to San Antonio to take on the Spurs, who are 8-2 on the season, winners of 3 in a row, knocking out the Bulls and Pelicans after a huge win over the Rockets. Now, their win against the Bulls, that was a dogfight of a game. Wemby playing out of his mind, 38 points, 11 of 19 from 3. You'll love to see it. De'Aaron Fox coming back and playing great, 21 points for him, 8 of 14 from the field. 1 of 6 from 3, so let's figure out that 3-point shooting a little bit or just knock it off. But he played really well, and the defense that this team can put out there and the bench scoring is just excellent. Keldon Johnson playing really well off the bench. Stephon Castle playing amazing. This is a very good basketball team, and they come into this game looking pretty freaking healthy, honestly. The only guy that's on the injury report anymore is Dylan Harper, and that's not somebody that really freaks me out too much to have him out. So the bench looks good. The starting unit looks good. This Spurs team is ready to rock and roll. They're 5.5-point favorites at home in this game. We've got a total of 227.5. The Warriors are 6-5 against the spread this season. They are 7-4 to the over. They're 1-2 against the spread on no rest. This is I think they're officially the oldest team in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. So them struggling on no rest makes a ton of sense. The Spurs, they're 4-4-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. I do actually think over 227.5 is not an insane lean in this game. I think we'll see plenty of points out there. Another over in a Warriors game, an over in a Spurs game. Both those make sense to me. In terms of a side, though, I will be taking the Spurs here at -5.5. It feels a bit annoying because San Antonio seems to play a lot of close games, but I do think that's the side I want. But I also have some player props that I think are excellent in this spot. And first up, I'll take De'Aaron Fox here over 19.5 points at +100. An excellent price on a guy who's come out actually absolutely cooking here right out of the gates. Kind of felt like his job was on the line with them having so much success without him, but he's looked absolutely great. The Spurs were already looking good with him sidelined, but he's come out and given them a big boost offensively, over 20 points in each of his first 2 games, and the Warriors, fresh off a beatdown last night, I think he's going to have a pretty easy time getting to 20 points in this game, whether he's knocking down his threes or not. And speaking of knocking down threes, I like Wembanyama here over 1.5 made threes at -136. Maybe I'm reading a little bit too deeply into this, but this matchup here against Steph, I think, in this specific matchup, going against this specific opponent, Wemby's going to want to prove himself shooting the ball. And he's put up 9 threes in each of his last 2 games. When you're shooting that kind of volume, surely you can knock down 2. And he shot the ball well his last couple games, so definitely think that's reasonable. And shooting on the home rims should help additionally. So definitely think Wemby here over 1.5 made threes is very, very live. Rolling through this very deep slate of games, we're looking at the Phoenix Suns going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. The Suns are 6-5 on the year, winners of 3 in a row. They just swept a 2-game, a home and home series there against the Clippers. Then they destroyed the Pelicans 121-98. A lot of stuff going right for the Suns. Now, I'm not saying they're necessarily going to be a playoff team or anything like that, but it's looking far from impossible, especially now that they're healthy. Devin Booker playing great, only had to play 27 minutes in that game too, so they should be pretty freaking well rested. Some decent contributions there off the bench. Obviously, playing at home makes it easier to play well, especially for the bench players, but loving what we saw from Grayson Allen. That was a career night for Grayson Allen. He had 42 points in 28 minutes. He was 10 of 15 from 3. Bonkers level stuff there from Grayson Allen. So you gotta love it if you're a Phoenix Suns fan. And they come into this game, I would say they are very healthy. Jalen Green is going to be sidelined for quite a bit. Him getting helped off there with that hamstring injury didn't look good, and turns out it was pretty freaking bad. I would take the over. It says 4 to 6 weeks. I would take over 6 weeks if this was something that I was betting on, because you can't rush somebody back from a hamstring issue, and you should really just let him out until it's 100,000% healed, because that kid relies on his quickness, his agility, and his athleticism, and you can't really trust your body if your hamstrings just grabbing at you all the time. So definitely, other than that, healthy injury report there for the Suns. Now the Mavericks, I don't want to say this is an all-time low for this franchise in my lifetime, but it's got to be pretty close. Obviously, getting rid of Nico, I do think that's something that was well-deserved. That, Luka trade is going to go down in history as one of the worst trades of all time. Would they have fired him if Anthony Davis hadn't gotten hurt this season? Probably not. I also think Jason Kidd is mishandling the whole Cooper Flag situation. All that being said, they almost knocked off the Bucks, eventually losing by 2 points in that game. And Flag played great, 26 points for him. He's finally seeming to get his legs under him a little bit here in the NBA, but I'm not ready to throw you a parade. Cooper Flag, he was 1 of 5 from 3. Supposed to be able to shoot the ball a lot better than that. It's been unfortunate what we've seen not seen from D'Angelo Russell this season. He was talking pretty big on some podcasts and is coming up pretty small here. The saddest thing here is Clay just being terrible. 17 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 7 from 3 in the loss. What has happened to Clay? We'll see what happens with this team down the stretch when they get AD back and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, maybe it doesn't even matter this season, because it's all going to be about next season when Kyrie is back. So we'll see what happens, but not loving what I'm seeing right now from the Dallas Mavericks. And looking at their injury report, Anthony Davis still listed on there. Derek Lively still listed on there. Anthony Davis, he's officially questionable for this game. So I guess there's some chance he comes back with a calf injury. I'd be pretty surprised to see him out there. And Derek Lively with a knee issue, he's questionable for this game as well. So not a lot of clarity, but I would be kind of shocked to see Anthony Davis out there. And that's the one that I really, really wonder about. And if he does play, he'll be on a minutes limit for sure. So look at the numbers here, guys. The Mavs are 2.5 point favorites or pick 'em. So we'll see. The Mavs being 2.5 point favorites definitely seems to indicate to me that we are going to see Anthony Davis out there, but on a minutes limit, I don't know if we want to overreact to that news too much. We've got a total of 227.5 in this game. The Suns are 7-4 against the spread. They are 6-5 to the under. Dallas 5-6 against the spread. They are 8-3 to the under. So just given those numbers, I guess we have to very seriously consider the under in this spot. But like I said, guys, I'm not getting involved in a bunch of underplays here at this point in the season. In the NBA, there's been way too many overs. The trends are pointing all towards the overs. We're probably going to stay away from unders. In terms of the spread here, just checking on movement, it's still pretty much the same. The Mavs are the favorites, so I do expect, I do kind of expect Anthony Davis to play based on that, but I like the Suns here. Give me the Suns plus, I guess it's down to 1.5, so we'll go ahead and change that. We'll take the Suns at -1.5 with a definite chance to make the pinned comment. Next up, we were looking at our second ESPN day of the game. We've got the Los Angeles Lakers going on the road to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, the Lakers have been a little bit all over the place, but they are 8-3 on the season without LeBron and with Luka missing a few games sprinkled in there. So pretty solid stuff. They're coming off a 10-point win there in Charlotte. So well played. They'll definitely take the win. Luka, 38 points, continues to play out of his mind. A nice dunk there for skinny Luka. A lot of positives for the Lakers, obviously. Now, we liked what we saw in general. They shot the ball okay. Not an insane shooting day, but good enough. We would love to see the bench shoot the ball a little bit better, but we'd also love to see the bench do a lot of things a lot better, because the bench wasn't very good in that game. Could definitely use more production. The DeAndre Ayton trade is working out. So congrats on that. A healthy injury report, pretty much. Obviously, no LeBron. Gabe Vincent probably not going to be back for a bit still, but Austin Reeves ready to go, Luka ready to go. This team is looking pretty dangerous, especially when Ayton plays well, and Hachimura has been playing really, really well. He deserves some credit for this nice run as well. But they're about to be severely tested here as they go on the road to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 11-1 on the season. They just obliterated the Warriors 126-102. In a game, we saw SGA put up 28 points. And how many minutes did he play? 28 minutes. Chet, 23 points in 25 minutes and 11 boards. They didn't have to play everybody very many minutes. Jalen Williams, great off the bench. Isaiah Joe, great off the bench as well. This team's looking deep and very, very good. Also, Mitchell looking really, really good for this team, earning his starting spot, looking excellent. So lots of great news there if you're an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. They seem poised for a run at another championship. The injury stuff has been a little bit tough. Aaron Wiggins out, Dort out, J-Dub out. Now, J-Dub should be getting relatively close. Dort seemed like there was a chance he would play against the Warriors, so I kind of expect him to play in this game. J-Dub dealing with that wrist issue. He didn't play in that game against the Warriors, but apparently he's getting relatively close. We'll see. Sounds like it's getting relatively close. Sounds like it's getting relatively close there on J-Dub. So that could be a big deal. Aaron Wiggins, he's dealing with a thigh issue. He didn't play there against Golden State, but I think there's a good chance he comes back for this one, at home against the Lakers. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Thunder are 7-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 229.5. The Lakers are 8-3 against the spread, 9-2 to the over. The Thunder are 6-5 against the spread, 6-5 to the over. They are 0-2 against the spread this season on no rest. So that's something to keep an eye on. They do tend to win every game, but they can be a little bit close. All that being said, I don't think Luka's ready for what's about to happen to him in Oklahoma City. If him and Austin Reeves can't get going against this team, there is no other offense coming there for the Lakers. I'll take the Thunder here at -7. You could also potentially take them just straight up on the money line. That doesn't seem crazy to me at all. The money line Thunder could be our lock of the day. We'll have to wait and see, but this one definitely screams value to me, despite the fact the Thunder are playing on back-to-back nights. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Atlanta Hawks heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings. The Hawks come into this game winners of 3 out of their last 4. They just knocked off the Clippers, who were having a pretty bad start to their year. And the Hawks, obviously, no Trae Young, but against the Clippers, it wasn't a problem. We liked in general. I mean, a lot of positives. Dyson Daniels didn't have to, have a monster point guard game, but still had 8 assists. Really, really showing his versatility, just across the board. Porzingis, a great night. Ricochet, great night, but the bench went absolutely bonkers. And as a team, they shot 13 of 34 from 3, a very solid, nearly 40% shooting night. So a lot of positives there for the Atlanta Hawks. Knocking off a Clippers team that just cannot seem to get things pointed back in the right direction is also shockingly dealing with a Kawhi injury. So we'll see what the Hawks can do here. They cashed that one for us. We had the Hawks at +5.5, and they get the straight up win. So love to see it. The injury report here, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is on there. That's not ideal. Obviously, dealing with the back issue, he's questionable for this game. I think there's a chance that he plays, but it's far from a lock. And they could definitely use him here heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings, although they're not having a great time. They're currently playing against the Nuggets. The Nuggets are our lock of the day, and Denver is up 82-74 there over the Kings. So it'll be a back-to-back situation there for the Kings. We'll see if they are ready for it. They've got blown out by the Timberwolves and blown out by the Thunder. They're staying semi-competitive against Denver so far. We'll see how that game finishes up. But so far in that game, I mean, we're not, hating necessarily what we're seeing. As a team, they're shooting 30% from 3. We got 15 points from Sabonis, who was questionable for that game. And this is a pretty old team. Like, you're thinking about guys like Sabonis, DeRozan, even Zach LaVine or Westbrook playing on back-to-back nights. Like, that all does not really add up to anything amazing to me. So we'll see. We'll see what they're able to do at home in this one. I mean, looking at their injury report, it's obviously not updated at all. So we'll have to wait on that one a little bit. They're getting 4 or 3.5 points right now in this game. We've got a total of 232.5. Atlanta's 5-6 against the spread, 7-4 to the under. The Kings are 4-6 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. They're also 0-1 against the spread this season on no rest. Guys, I really like the Hawks here at -4 or -3.5, or potentially they could end up on the money line as our dog of the day, or maybe just a money line play regardless, because I think Atlanta's going to win this game the vast majority of the time against a very, an older and, team playing on back-to-back nights. I know they're playing at home, so they didn't have to travel, but things are getting pretty bleak there for the Sacramento Kings. Speaking of teams playing on back-to-back nights, we're looking at the Denver Nuggets going on the road to take on the LA Clippers. The Nuggets, like I just said, are currently playing right now in Sacramento. Gonna have to hop on a plane and go from Sacramento to LA, but that is a very short flight. We'll see. We'll see if they're trying to rest anybody or anything like that. Obviously, the Nuggets, a veteran squad with their eyes on the long-term prize, not necessarily their eyes on, trying to do anything super special here in the regular season, but they're definitely a team trying to win games. They're playing well right now, up 82-74, so things are looking pretty good. Aaron Gordon playing well, Jokic playing great, Jamal Murray playing well, but a lot of these guys aren't necessarily super locked in to be playing on back-to-back nights all the time. That is not always the case for guys like Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray specifically. So we'll see. Going to be very up in the air there on the injury report for the Nuggets until, much later in the day there tomorrow. So have to keep updated on that. We'll see. Make sure you're checking back that pinned comment, especially in the NBA. There's going to be chances we're going to have to change things around later in the day. That's just part of the game. So we'll see what they can do here in LA, taking on a Clippers team that is free falling. They've lost 5 straight games. It's looking real bleak. Kawhi missing time, all kinds of, off-season drama, with that whole aspiration thing with Kawhi Leonard and potential cap circumvention, allegedly. The whole weird situation with Chauncey Billups and Ty Lue. Chauncey Billups obviously being extremely involved in that weird poker game scandal, and Ty Lue allegedly could potentially be involved as well. So yeah, they're really, really floundering. Plenty of injuries, plenty of drama. That loss to the Hawks, in that loss, Harden went off for 35 points. He's doing really all you could ask from him at this point. Zubac is playing okay, but nobody doing too much off the bench. John Collins playing okay there in a starting role, but only 3 of 11 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3 is not going to get the job done. So we'll see. We'll see if they can get healthy, see if they can get back on track here. But this is a team everybody loved in the offseason. It's not looking great. Turns out adding Bradley Beal is a huge waste of time and money. Adding him to your basketball team seems like it is super meaningless. Not playing against the Nuggets, we'll see if he plays in this next game. When he has played, he's been bad. Kawhi, he's still dealing with injury. Sounds like he's going to miss the next few games, so there's no reason to think he's going to be back for this one either. And looking at the numbers, they seem to indicate that neither one of those guys will probably be playing, although I don't know if Beal moves the needle at all. But the Clippers are getting 2 points in this game. We've got a total of 225.5. Denver is 6-3 against the spread this year, 5-4 to the over, and they're 1-0 against the spread on no rest. The Clippers are 1-9 against the spread this season. They're 5-5 to the over/under. We got to see the injury report first, guys, but I'm leaning towards the Nuggets at -2, even on the possibility that we could see multiple guys not play. The only one that would really kill this for me is if Jokic isn't playing. I'm going to have to look a lot harder, but, I don't hate the, Jonas Valanciunas getting a bunch of minutes situation either. I don't think that's a huge problem. So definitely will be leaning towards the Denver Nuggets in this one, but make sure you're checking that pinned comment to see if this one makes it in. Guys, that's all the games we have for today on a loaded Wednesday slate. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description, getting over to stumpthespread.com, checking out all the free picks that get posted over there every single day. Get on that free email newsletter so you don't miss out on any of that. Tons and tons of great information every single day for free, and definitely get over there and get on those premium picks, guys. A huge weekend of college football and NFL coming up. So definitely want to get in on that, and we'll see you guys right here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.